lovely people, Nina here. So this week, I don't know if it's because I've had a cold and I've been struggling with that, or if it's because of the chaos of the world, but honestly, probably a combination of the two. I went to my bookshelf to get a book to read, and I'm currently in the middle of a few, but I wanted something different, and I don't know why, I just decided to stray away from my September TBR list, which I feel like is a common theme with me, and I looked at my shelf and I picked up Matilda, which I got this a while back, around the time when the musical was super popular and Harry Styles had just come out with a song, and I remember reading this from my elementary school days. It was one of my very favorite books, and I read practically every Roald Dahl book, and I love them all, the BFG maybe being one of my favorites, if not Matilda. I absolutely adore this book. I have not read it, like I said, since elementary school, so it's been years. So this week I picked it up and gave it a little read. It's a children's book, it's quite short, so it didn't take me that long, and I absolutely loved it, and it made me cry. If you don't know the story of Matilda, I feel like it's a very popular one, but if you don't know the story of Matilda, it follows a girl named Matilda, who grows up, and she's 5, and she's very smart, and her parents basically ignore her and do not like her. She has an older brother who they love, and her parents are just kind of awful. Her dad's a car salesman, but he cheats his way through it, and her mom loves to play bingo, I think it is. She loves to gamble. And so they leave her at home during the day, and she just wanders around the house and tries to occupy herself, and she turns out that she loves to read and she loves books, and her parents think that books are dumb and that children shouldn't be reading, they should just watch TV, and why can't she just watch TV all day? And so she discovers the library and spends her days at the library, and then goes and checks out books and realizes that she can check out books, and discovers that she loves books. And as the story goes on, she also discovers that she's very good at math, and she's overall just a very bright, smart child, and her parents just don't care about her. And so she eventually is old enough to go to school. I think she starts reading though at like 3 or something, when she's younger, and then by the time she's 5, she goes to school, and her parents sign her up late for school because they don't care, and she's in a classroom with a teacher called Miss Honey, and Miss Honey is just like the kindest person, and is awestruck by Matilda and how brilliant she is, and she doesn't understand why Matilda's parents don't care how smart she is, and she essentially helps Matilda throughout the book, and is just a really kind and lovely person, and loves children, and is this like kindergarten teacher to all these children who she loves. The headmistress of the school is Miss Trunchbull, and Miss Trunchbull hates children and is evil and is like Matilda's parents and just can't stand them. She has a thing called the chokey, which if a child misbehaves, they have to go to the chokey, and the chokey has nails and glass on the walls, so if they move, they get poked. And yeah, she just really hates children and will blame them for everything. And she's the headmistress of the school and essentially a giant bully. The descriptions that Roald Dahl uses in this are so funny, and I was like, of course I love this as a child. It's such a cute, it's sad, but it's such a cute book, and I just loved that Matilda loved to read. And I loved that she was able to just be brave, and she stands up to her parents and plays little jokes on them, to every time they like basically insult her or they destroy her books or what have ya, she gets them back. And when she has to deal with Miss Trunchbull too, she finds a way to bully her and get her back. And this story is just really good. It's comedy, it's funny, and it has his drawings. His drawings are amazing in it. I asked my family, I was like, have you read Matilda before? And my younger sister was like, I have not. And my mom was like, I have read it, but like not for a million years. She's like, I think I read it to your older sister. And I was like, oh. So they hadn't read it for a while, and I was like, I forgot how much I loved this book. It was very cute. And the essential whole theme is that Matilda is brave and courageous and stands up to her parents and stands up to the bully Miss Trunchbull, and Miss Honey is the teacher who's just kind and sweet and believes in Matilda and believes that there is good in the world and that people can be good and just should love children. As I was reading this week, the flotilla set sail and was making its way to Palestine, trying to get them food and aid and supplies because they are being illegally held and there's a genocide happening there. And so all of these boats took sail to go and break the siege of the Palestinian people. And as I am currently filming this, I just went to look. In the past 24 hours, so from last night, yesterday to today is the 2nd of October, there have been 450 plus civilians illegally abducted by the Israeli occupation forces. As they got closer to Palestine, the Israeli army boarded a majority of these boats, like a good chunk of these boats, and illegally detained and arrested these non-violent humanitarian boats that were literally just carrying aid, and there were doctors on board. Some of them, there were journalists, there were media people, there were activists. They were all non-violent people just trying to get aid to the Palestinian people who are being starved and bombed and essentially held on their land by the illegal Israeli occupation. And in the last 24 hours, 21 boats are confirmed to have been intercepted. The people were kidnapped because illegally taken off their boats. The Israeli army had no right to do this, so they were taken off their boats and held. I don't know what the status is yet. They did post a picture of them like being detained, but we need to keep our eyes on these boats. I don't know about the numbers wise. They say there's one still sailing still. I don't know. I haven't checked recently. There's a live tracker. I can put it down below, but the flotilla has a live tracker on all these boats so we can see who's still sailing. The last I checked, the one was like very, very, very close to reaching Gaza, and I am hoping for these people that they make it there and they make it there safely. And just watching the Palestinian people have this little amount of hope that these boats are trying to get to them and trying to do the right thing is just heartbreaking. And I've been following along with that this week, along with the evacuation orders that Israel has once again inflicted on the Palestinian people on their own land, to evacuate to where they don't know. They don't have anything. There's nowhere for them to go, and this is over 1 million people. There's no food, no water, no housing, no like beds. They're taking the very little that they have, and then on top of that they're bombing them. It's all horrible, and if we can use our voices, we need to do that now. If you haven't spoken out, time is now. It's more important than ever, because there's no time to waste. The Palestinian people don't have any more time for us to just sit back and watch in concern. We need to use our voices. The people on the boats need us to use our voices and to contact their respective countries, representatives in their respective countries. There are U.S. citizens, as a U.S. citizen myself, there are U.S. citizens on these boats, as well as multiple other countries, and so we need to make sure that we are contacting the representatives and the countries to make sure that they are safe, and that the Israeli army lets them go after illegally taking them off these boats. And so, yeah, in a world that is full of Miss Trunchbulls and horrendous people, we need to be more like Matilda and more like Miss Honey. So that is all for this week's video. I love you all, and as always, free Palestine.